Yes.
Do you want me to pass your drink?
No, it's all right. I just want to make sure that I can try and use it as a... Yeah, there we go.
All good?
Here we are. Okay. Now, so we can get to them.
Yeah. Okay, that's around.
Right, so good afternoon from the White Hart Hotel in Lewes. With me, Fiona Graham, who is one of the trustees of the
Patina.
Patina. Thank you. We have Mirador has some history with Patina. We've a couple of times covered the parade, but also in our documentary, The Bloody Past of a Tiny Town, in episode 1, there is a considerable amount of coverage of what Patina is all about. But why should I tell you when I've got the expert to my right? So Fiona, tell us, what is Patina?
Okay, thank you, Keith. So Patina is Parents and Teachers in the Arts, and it's based in Lewes. And basically it's been going 20 years, so it's a very special year for us this year. It's our 20th birthday, and it was set up, as I say, 20 years ago by a group of parents and teachers and artists who were really concerned about the arts in schools and the fact that the arts were being cut in schools, and wanted to provide opportunities for students in and around Lewes to continue to have artistic interventions that would develop the curriculum and develop their artistic experience. So it was set up, I've actually got the names of the people by someone called Martha Hack, Sean Thomas, Petter King, Russell Beck, Chris Bailey, Rafaela Sapir, and Stevie Smith and Jane Andrews. So they were the founding members who set it up. Right. And basically they decided that probably one of the best things to do would be to have this parade, this celebration every year in Lewes, which is called Moving On, which celebrates the transition from primary to secondary schools. So it enables the trust to cover both primary and secondary schools, but most importantly, to support the students in that transition. So this year there are 15 schools that are involved.
Right. How many were there originally?
I don't know actually at the beginning. I think probably around the same. I think we've had more or less the same group of schools over the years. And this year there are 6 artists that have been commissioned that work in the school, and visual artists, and they create these structures and artistic there might be puppets, or there might be masks, or there might be headdresses, or there might be, I haven't seen any of the work this year yet, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to see. And they take a theme each year. So this year it's called Making Waves, and it's looking at the River Ouse, the history of the River Ouse and the sea, and the ecology of the Ouse and environmental issues around it. So they invited Cleo Alper from the Wildlife Trust. She's been into each of the schools and done workshops with them. So the students have made these works that you're about to see in the parade in response to those workshops with Cleo. And they've looked at the sea and they've looked at the river, and they're looking at different species, I think, that are in the river and in the sea. And that's what's inspired their artworks. So what you're about to see is a huge parade of, I think it's 405 students from 15 schools. And they're all about to leave their primary schools and go to secondary school.
Right.
So it's a wonderful occasion that's become a very Lewes event.
Yes, I mean, I've seen it several years, and it's very colourful, and very creative. And I mean, the children must work very hard all year to put these things together.
It's not all year. We decide the theme in the autumn. With the parents and the artists and the teachers and the trustees, and then they are commissioned, and then they go in and they do workshops with the children but it's quite fast and hard making the work.
Right.
And then, obviously they've also working with a choreographer. They're doing it. There's a dance that all the children will do. So they parade from the paddock. I think they should be at the paddock now, making their way up onto the high street. And on the high street, go down the hill to the cliff, and then make their way back to the paddock. There's going to be a huge samba band, and so there's a huge celebration. And I think each of the children, each school has made a wish. It's a sort of sculpture of a fish, and on the fish are all the wishes of what they want in this transition as they move to the into their futures. So each school will bring their fish, and they will come together to make one sculpture.
Oh, right.
In the
very intriguing.
In the paddock this afternoon. And we've made that we've got the town crier, and it's become a kind of ceremony. We did it last year when we looked at trees and we looked at woods, and they made a wish tree. It's very moving actually to see what they're wishing for their futures and what they want, as they move forward, especially in terms of the environment, given that it's an environmental theme as well. So that happens, and then a huge celebration this afternoon in the paddock, and then this evening there's a thing called Twilight Tales, and we've invited a series of professional storytellers to come to the paddock, and families are invited to come with picnics.
Oh, great.
And they will hear the storytelling stories of the sea, of the river.
Super.
It's a very, very special.
Right. So at the moment, paddock. There we go. It's dreadful.
Well, I think that everybody's very prepared. They obviously come with their teachers. It's very well organised, and the route's clearly planned. We've got all these chaperones and people that monitor the route as well. And obviously, I'm just looking in front of me at the high street. It's filling up with people. I can see the mayor.
It is indeed, yeah.
I can see the mayor ahead of me and the councillors. I think they're going to sort of salute. In fact, I can see some of the founding members in front of me. And,
surely, yes.
Yeah, they will be acknowledged, I think, when they get outside here for the work that they've done and this amazing intervention that they've created. Yeah, so that's what we're waiting for. That's what's about to happen.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, we're cozily tucked up in the White Hart.
We are. We've got to sit down, which is quite a wonderful thing.
Yeah. I can't stay long.
No, me too. I've got
nothing to do with a glass of wine, I assure you.
So Cleo Alper was the person from the Wildlife Trust who came in and did a workshop in each school on the environment. And we've also had an amazing graphic designer, Emma Carlo, who's done all of the design work. Because there's children, a lot of the volunteers will be wearing sweatshirts that are connected with the event.
Right.
And I could probably give you the name of the artist as well, which is important to say. So we've got, let me have a look here. Oh, let me just switch that off.
No, it's all right. Take the call if you wish.
It's all right. I'll go back to it. So the artists that are doing it, that have been working in the schools are Mary Fellows, Sandrine Case, Maya Eden, Nikki Gunson, Sally Edwards, and Paul Render. I think this phone call is determined to go ahead.
Yes, go ahead. You take it.
Yeah.
Just for a moment.
I am on live television.
I recognise one of the names there, Raffaella, who I dealt with 3 or 4 years ago. Is Raffaella still involved?
She's not actually. We've got a new person who's heading it up now. Caroline Croft is the director, and we've got another person who's taken over from Raffaella.
Caroline Croft, that name rings a bell. I think I've met her at some stage.
Yes, she's the director of Patina. So she's been involved for a long time and is involved with the funding and the planning of the event. Yeah. Right.
So you're all volunteers.
Yeah. So on the trust, and I'm an educationist. I work at Goldsmiths. I run an MA in drama and performance.
Oh, right.
But There are lots of people, there are a lot of teachers, there are parents on the trust, and that turns over every couple of years, but it's all people doing it on a voluntary basis. And then, of course, we apply for funding. It's important probably to say where our funding's coming from. So we've got money this year from Lewis Town Council, from the Angel Foundation, from the Tapestry Online Learning, from the Lewis Fund, and the National Lorry Heritage Fund. So, and also great donations that people make locally as well.
If
so
you've got any sponsors, if you want to mention them, that's fine. We are not bound by any rules or regulations except libel. So don't call somebody a prat if they're not a prat.
No, these are all wonderful people that are supporting a really important event.
Okay, Fiona, now I can remember Raffaella saying, you finish this tonight and then the planning kicks in tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it does start very fast. Yeah, we think we sort of get a breath of air and then we start again. Yeah.
Now who determines the theme?
It's a conversation that happens between the trust members, between the artists and parents as well that are involved. So there's a whole group of people around patina that have that conversation, and then you just vote for it, I guess.
Right.
So we've had children's literature. We had the woods and the trees last year. We've looked at famous figures in history, so that every year it's got a different theme. But this year, I think they're coming.
Okay.
This year it's from the river to the
Max.
sea.
Whoops.
What's that?
Yeah. Hello.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, Max.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, and we need the camera
yes,
on.
Okay.
Are they coming?
It looks like they're just about to come around the corner. I can't hear them yet, but the marshals are there.
Okay, right you are. Yes, well, this is Max Hurd, our man of the moment, who's out on the street with the remote camera. Nowadays, it's gone back to reverted, so we've got 16 vans and 26 cameras. And no, we haven't. We've got Max with a phone camera, and we've got Fiona here, and myself, and a laptop. But the important thing is we've got the nice software from StreamYard, which is, to all intents and purposes, gives us a studio side. Yeah. So here we are. In fact, and if we got one more person, we could have had a second camera. But we've only recently moved in here, and everything is a bit Heath Robinson at the moment.
Okay.
But we get there. We get there in the end.
So we've got 408 children that are moving towards us from 15 different schools. And I think we start with the river theme and then we move into the sea. So I think we'll see...
we're going to see some river first. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's important.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to have you here because whereas I can do pretty frocks and things, is I don't really know much about it.
Well, I haven't seen the work yet, so I'm excited to see, what to come through. And I don't know the order, but I've got
but your guess will be better than mine.
We'll have a go. Yeah.
Two experts together.
If you've got a second camera and you need somebody to wield it.
Right. I start to hear some commotion from down the street.
Yeah, by all means. Well, come on in. Look over our shoulder, by all means, if you wish.
Have you got the second camera, but you just haven't got anybody to...
We've got cameras coming out of our ears. It's human resources nowadays that are the problem.
I'm a human resource.
All right, Keith.
Yes, Max.
Yep, they're just on their way. They're literally coming down the street now.
What can you see in front of us? What river species can you see, Max?
They're down the street and it's already quite noisy. They're probably not going to be able to hear you, just so you know.
Oh, right. Okay. It's hard for us to see exactly what's coming towards us.
Right. Well, anyway, here we are in Lewis. For those people who are viewing from not here on the spot. We're broadcasting from the White Hart Hotel. and the
So we've access to in a school. We're hoping to get it.
Hi.
Yeah, look, people look like they're waiting.
There us, and hopefully we've got Max, our cameraman. And
we've sort of this.
Okay, there are more. There was just a very large gap.
yeah. Well, that's typical of a parade. Yeah. So, show us the crowd. The people in front of us over there. You got shot there.
Yeah. Two halves. So I think we've got Charlie Harris, so it's probably just taking a bit longer to get through. So here these have been working with artist Sally Edwards, and she's made individual designs for the children based on their requests.
Oh, there's a fish.
So that's the children from Haley Heritage are moving on today. Fantastic to have them with us. See them coming through. And then behind them, we should have seagulls and fish from St Pancras. I think they're coming through now. So I think this is St Pancras. Yeah, there's seagulls. Oh, great.
Good, yeah.
We've got the hermit crabs from Plymouth. They've been working with the artist to render. We've got Wallens, I can see the Wallens banner, and lots of jellyfish coming through. And the artist there with Mary Shoulders. A jellyfish.
Very colourful. It's really very colourful. I mean, it's terrific. And hard work all year, being shown to the crowds and the people of Lewis. Absolutely fantastic. Lots of enthusiasm there, and these kids have got umbrellas.
And now dolphins. I can see dolphins.
Oh yes.
And they're from Southover with Maya Eden. I can hear the children shouting. I'm not quite sure what they're saying, but they're about to move to secondary school, which is a huge moment for them in leaving the secondary school.
Oh yes, they're off into the great big.
They become the smallest.
Absolutely, you'll be seeing them at Goldsmiths pretty soon.
What's that alternative at some point? got the schools and fish coming through. So it's a great occasion because all these children, although they're in their separate groups now, get to secondary school, they'll all be mixed up, so they will get to know each other over the next year.
Right, yeah.
So it's a kind of first meetings really before they leave when they get to secondary school.
So this has a practical application as well as
and then, you know, it introduces them and they get to see each other and think about what it means to make that transition.
Right.
And I think that might be it. I think we might have gone through.
I think we've seen that now.
Everybody. So just a reminder, Tina's holding a storytelling session tonight in the paddock called Twilight Tales. Right. And that starts at 7 o'clock, and families are very welcome to come with their picnics. And there will be professional storytellers telling stories of the sea and stories of the river. I think I can see a couple more Chailey people coming through just on the end. And people in front of the town hall, the mayor and the councillors.
Yeah.
The team event.
No. Max, you should stay out there until the very last gasp.
They go to the paddock.
Yeah. Go and get the mayor. Look, the mayor is there, and
over there.
I think Stephen's got his hat on.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay, go and get shots of that, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was trying to find the film. I don't know where they.
Finish what at the paddock.
They finish in the paddock.
They go down Cliff High Street, back up again.
Oh, back up again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Two goes at it.
I don't know those two else.
Yeah. No. Get that camera going, Max.
I think the mayor's taking off. I think they're walking down.
Ah, yes, they're working down now.
So I think that's all I can tell you, really. I think
that's very useful. Now, about 450, you say, children?
Yeah, 450 children. No, 409 children.
All right, and how many schools?
Actually, over 20 years, we think there's about 9,000 children have benefited from this. And a really lovely detail is that Bill's always supply them with fruit. So over years, Bill's will give them fruit to 9,000 children.
Oops. Yeah. Really? Bill's gives them fruit.
Gives them all fruit
Oh,
when they get to the paddock. So when you think about that, there's 9,000 children that have received fruit from Bill's over the last 20 years, which is pretty amazing.
Well, with all due respect, it hasn't done him any harm, has it?
No, I think he's done very well actually, but
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, we I think we really have finished outside there now.
Yeah.
So let's come back in. Right, Fiona. Now, tell us a little bit more about the organisation. You meet all the time each year, or
we meet every 6 weeks, I'd say, and it's the patina's made up of local people in Lewis. So I work as an educationalist at Goldsmiths, and I'm a performance developer. So, but there are artists as well that are on the trust. So there's a kind of artist representation, and then there's a teacher representation. So we've got deputy heads from some of the schools, and teachers that are involved, and then we've got parents as well. So we've got children that are involved, and then we've got our arts worker, and we've got our director Caroline Croft, who leads it all through.
Right.
So those are the two professional posts, but everybody else is a volunteer.
Right. Yeah. And how do you coordinate the schools?
Well, Caroline works with them, so there are a lot of meetings that take place through the year with the head teachers to work out what are the best strategies for their organisation, for their involvement in the organisation of the work. And the schools make a contribution to patina, but patina also covers some of the students as well. So, for example, this year we're covering 70 children that are on free school meals. So patina actually pays for them to do it. Oh gosh,
that's very good.
So so there's a kind of support there. There's also 10 children with different disabilities from Chailey that are involved. So we have an artist that goes in there and works with them as well. So it's very much about equal representation, and any school across Lewis is welcome to be involved. But as I say, there's 15 at the moment.
Yeah. Are there any that have deliberately not been part of it?
No, I don't think so. No, I think I suppose as people find out more about it, they want to become involved. But it tends to be the same schools. The main schools are involved,
right?
And a range of schools from Lewis Grammar right through to the state schools, right through to Chailey, involved in it. Yeah.
Well, that's very impressive.
Yeah, and it means that all those, as I said, all of those children then meet for the first time, maybe sometimes on this parade and in the paddock tonight when they're listening to the stories and when they all come together to sort of share their wishes for the future. And it's just an opportunity to see each other before they go to secondary school.
Yeah.
So it really does, I think, help and support that moving on process.
Oh, very much so. But it must feel good to have all this joint activity. Children that don't see one another from.
Yeah, we did over the last 2 years through COVID. We did it online. So then children, the artists were working with children online,
right,
and sending packs out to them. And we made a film of their work, but we obviously weren't able to be together. Last year we had to do it with really rigorous safety procedures.
Yes.
And for we were able to get them all into the paddock, but we had to keep them all separate. But last year was a woodland theme, and they all made these wishes. They made a sort of wish tree, and then they put all their wishes together. This year they're making a fish wish. So each school has made a fish, and on that there are different wishes of what they want for the environment for the future. And then in the ceremony at the paddock, the town crier leads that, and all the children come together and put their wishes together to make one sculpture, sort of like a shoal of fish. So it's a very beautiful,
yeah, indeed, very creative, very creative. Now, Caroline is the head honcho, as it were, the director. Is she the creative genius too?
No, she is the kind of overall eye, if you like, on the whole project, and the funding person as well. But we have creative artists, all these 6 creative artists that work on it, and an artist administrator as well who facilitates all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all very impressive, and I do congratulate you and your colleagues. I wish that we had done a little bit better job, but we've only just moved in here, and it's a signal really that it is a problem, and we are actually working on it because it's causing us problems on our day-to-day operation as well.
Yeah.
But at least I think we caught the essence and the magic. We had you to tell us what it's all about, and this will it was going out live. Max will now share it, so it'll be on Facebook and YouTube and so on and so forth. And there's that wonderful scene in a movie with Dennis Waterman about the first World Cup, which was won by a mining team in northern England. But there's that at the very end is that they win the cup 3 times. So it says on the cup, to be held in perpetuity. And this little boy says to his mining father, "What does in perpetuity mean, Dad?" And he says, "Forever, lad, forever." So you're going to be up here forever.
Oh my goodness, that's a bit scary. But anyway, I'm very glad to have made that contribution and to share the ideas behind it, and the ethos of the project.
Well, with trustees like you, it can't fail.
We'll see.
But it's nice of you to come in and help us, because we would have been a bit at sea, not knowing which was which.
Yeah.
And we'd hope that we'd get a little bit better picture, but these things are in the lap of the gods at the moment. We like to stay in touch with Patina. We think that it's a very, very good idea. I said to you, I don't know whether you've ever seen our documentary, The Bloody Past of a Tiny Town. Well, you can find it on the web.
Yes.
It's in 8 parts. But the first part is Fiala is in it, and we did not Patina as Spud, but it was quite a little documentary. In fact, I think it was 2017 or something like that. That it was shown on the first Thursday or something, in the new year, and we got 2.5 million people watching it.
Fantastic.
So it was acceptable, and it's there to watch. If you want to use any of it to help promote patina, by all means do.
Thank you. I think it's also really important to say that this organisation began because of cuts to the arts in schools, and that is still happening. It's so difficult to to develop artistic projects in schools, and it's really important that these kind of projects are enabled and that artists are able to work with children and children are able to have that experience in the curriculum. And that it shouldn't be cut, when you look at
absolutely not.
Students coming to Goldsmith.
If you're threatened with cuts, if you want to run campaigns, you come to us. We're very good at campaigns. I'm as a mouth that roars. I'm always yelling at somebody.
Yes. Well, I mean, I've just seen this week that places like Sheffield Hallam University have cut their English degree because students are not earning £30,000 when they finished a university within 6 months, and so that's the criteria by which a course is cut. So that has implications for all kinds of arts, and it's really important that we see what they contribute for children's lives.
Absolutely. Also, I would have thought that a good number of children, when they come into school, would say, "Oh, I'm not artistic," and so on and so forth. This is a chance for them to get so involved that they've been part of it.
Yes,
right?
yeah, and to collectively be on the street. And it's that kind of Andy Warhol thing, isn't it? Famous for one day,
absolutely,
walk through the street and everybody look at you, and you're making this transition from primary to secondary
We're waving
school.
to the crowds instead of being in the crowd waving.
It's just really
it's a terrific
making everybody
occasion.
visible.
It's a terrific occasion, and I do thank you for joining us. You've been super in helping us, and also knowing that we are we deliberately try hard not to be formal. We do not want to be the BBC.
No, I don't think we are.
But what we do know from the research is that online television is people love to see people making mistakes. So I'm their man.
Well, thank you for having us, and just reminding people that the Twilight Tales is happening at 7:00 tonight.
Right. Okay. Now that's at the paddock.
That's at the paddock.
Get your little bottoms down to the paddock.
Yeah, family picnics are very welcome, and you can listen to stories of the sea and stories of the river.
Super. A lovely theme, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Just leave her alone for a minute.
That's your phone. It's not mine. Yeah.
It's not yours?
No. It's not me. No.
Oh, well, it's
Must
mine.
be you.
It's... Go away.
There you go.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Lovely to meet you.
Who it was. Yeah. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
And as I say,
Thank you for the drink.
We are here. We're going to take 2 weeks holiday in August. But other than that, we don't operate on weekends unless it's something special. We don't operate on public holidays. But other than that, we're here 5 days a week from 8 in the morning till 11:30. Anytime you want to drop in and just tell us what you're up to, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much. Take
Thank
care.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Caroline will be in touch, I think, about the details of getting access.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. There we are. That's it. Patina. A little stuttery performance from us, but nonetheless, I think we were getting there. And we're going to end the program now. Let's say it in the way that we normally end things, and we will say, "Little Pip."